Howdy, welcome back to SlydeBytes. Just a quick plain intro there. If you're not familiar with the, try that again. If you're not familiar with the channel, this is a bunch of guitar and gear review channel. And today, I first off, just want to start off and say thank you so much for, because this is going to be on Thanksgiving, thank you so much for supporting SlydeBytes. I appreciate all of you. You guys, all of you individuals out there who have watched this show and left positive comments, feedback, likes, and just subscribe, keep coming back, even just coming back and watching. I appreciate all of you. If you're a first-time viewer, I appreciate you. Everybody out there, you keep me going. I do this for the guitar community. This YouTube channel specifically is just a huge factor of who I am. I really enjoy doing this and trying to help people find budget guitar gear and gear reviews and just talk about guitar and gear and everything and try to build this guitar community. Guitar is kind of in a weird spot these days. It seems like some people say it's dying, some people say it's just fine. I don't know. I kind of see both sides a little bit. I see people getting into it, and I also see some people, some music starting to move different directions sometimes. So I just want to keep guitar alive and keep moving and help people finding good deals on good gear. So that's what we're going to talk about today. But I did want to start off and say thank you guys so much. The last couple of years on YouTube, it's been about a year and a half since I started the channel, and you guys have all been great. I appreciate all of you. Because I'm not the world's greatest guitarist, so the fact that there's any of you out there watching means a lot. So thank you. So moving into what today's video is, first off the gear, this is the beautiful Schecter C6 Plus, and I believe it was Electric Magenta's name. One of the best guitars I've ever reviewed this year. Just amazing. All the gear you see on the channel is my own, and yeah, no one provides me equipment unless it's gets from family and friends. So yeah, Schecter C6 is great. Ernie Ball cables, also awesome. Boss Katana 50 Mark II. Excellent. This whole rig here is, probably $600. So, not super cheap for the whole rig, but also not as expensive as what you probably would think. Anyway, so let's go ahead and put this on standby and let's go ahead and dig into this. So, this is a gift guide. First off, let's just go ahead and state that from the beginning. This is a holiday gift guide. I did this last year, and I want to do another one because this video is going to come out on Thanksgiving or around, and obviously, what comes up after that is Black Friday. And a lot of parents, loved ones, family, all friends, we're going to be looking for gifts for, those musicians in our lives that are guitar players and bassists and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and dig into this a little bit, and we're going to, talk about some affordable gear, all under $500 for people who are guitarists. I look around every year on all the websites, from manufacturers to retailers, trying to find gift guides for guitar players to help people in my family pick out gifts for me. When you ask people to buy guitar stuff, like, I don't even know what he has or what he doesn't have or what he needs. So let's go ahead and talk about some things that I think are great to have. And like I said, we're going to say under $500. We're going to talk about guitars and bass a little bit here today, just like last year. So first off, don't forget the basics. The basics are, the basics. Everyone needs them, and you can never run out of them. Great stocking stuff for ideas. Guitar picks always are nice to have. Maybe do some research, find out your intended purchase or the intended individuals who you're purchasing for. Figure out what gauge or not gauge. Figure out what size they use. That's very important. Guitar players usually kind of settle into a size that or a thickness, I should say, of guitar pick that they use and a style. And put some of those in the stocking. Packs of strings. Again, $7-10 worth of strings. Get strings. Maybe dig around. Like, hey, what gauge strings do you use anyway? Slip it in there somehow. Strings are always nice to have. We break them all the time, or if you're like me, you just play a lot. I don't break strings that much, but I do wear these out really quickly because I play so often. Capos. I like capos. I use capos a lot. Here's a couple examples of capos. Usually around $20. Great stocking stuffers. Allow you to change your clip on, and it allows you to change your key. So yeah, pretty cool. Harmonicas. that's something I mentioned last year, and I didn't bring mine up here, but that's something I do want to mention. Sometimes guitarists like to branch out a little bit. Pick up a harmonica. Usually you can get those for 10, 20 bucks. Don't go super cheap because a lot of those really suck. But Fender has some really good ones, and there's other great brands out there too. I usually use Fender everything because I'm a Fender nut, but there's plenty of great harmonicas out there. Guitarists often, you can get the neck rig and you can play harmonica and play guitar at the same time. If you got a bluesy individual or just someone who might be interested in playing another instrument, get them a harmonica. It's a great little thing to play around on, and I'm not very good at it, but I do play harmonica here and there. So there you go, just another little hint and idea. Cables. Here's a Fender cable. I use Fender cables all the time. This is Ernie Ball. You can get cables, usually around 20-ish bucks. Sky's kind of the limit. I don't tend to buy anything super expensive for cables, but there's plenty of different one types out there. I like Fender and Ernie Ball a lot. Those tend to be the kind I purchased, but again, sky's the limit. You can go as expensive or as low budget as you want. You can also get those little clip-on tuners. Those are usually like 10, 15 bucks for those. They clip on the headstock. I don't have one right here. But those are also great ideas for stocking stuffers and good gifts. I got a couple of those last year and actually loved it because I have 2 of those and I can keep them in different rooms. I don't have tuners in every room or pedal rigs or tuners on everything. So I like having a couple of guitar, like in my bedroom guitar, I like having the clip-on tuner just on the top, and I can just tune up and hop onto my Nux, my Light or whatever and just play around on the little miniature amp in the bedroom before bed sometimes. Also, pedals. So pedals can often be around 20 bucks. Here's a good example. Here's a tuner pedal, but we'll grab a couple here. We got this. This is a VSN LT901 tuner pedal. Been excellent. Absolutely love this thing. Really great. Pedals can be very cheap or very expensive depending on what you want. So again, the sky is the limit. There's no real need to go super cheap, or no need to go really expensive. You can go in the middle. It doesn't get much cheaper, honestly, typically than the VSN and things like that. When Amazon don't really have big names, you can go up to Behringer's a recognized name at this point in guitar. Plastic casing, but I've never broken one. I've actually had really good luck with Behringer pedals. I really like them. Usually around 25 to 30 bucks, depending on what you're looking for. So those are really great. I've also been using K-Line pedals. Those are usually around $40 on Amazon. Great pedals, sound great. I've got reviews on those on this channel as well. So, patch cables. For guitar players, patch cables are an essential. Let me grab. This is a patch cable. This is just a cheap one, like a hose up from Sweetwater or something. These are great if you have a pedal board player and they buy a lot of pedals. Patch cables are awesome. Don't forget guitar stands and gig bags. Those are also very nice to have. Gig bags, you can get a gig bag around $20+. Guitar stands are usually $10+. Again, those are going to be a little bit bigger, so you're maybe not stocking stuff for ideas, but they are going to be good gifts. And if you have someone who has several guitars, guitar stands and gig bags are always nice to have and very good for keeping your guitar protected. You don't always want to lean your guitar up against the walls or amps for the fear of things getting knocked over and broken. That's never good. And gig bags are very nice to have for the mobile guitarist, or even a case. Hard shell cases are usually not super cheap. I've been seeing prices around, if you get them on sale, sometimes around 75 plus. You can go way up over that. Depends on what you're wanting, but a case is always a good idea. You might be able to find a universal case. A lot of times they're going to be fitted to a certain type of guitar, so you kind of bear that in mind as you shop around, but yeah. So let me also just mention, I forgot to throw this in there, guitar slides. These are also like $5+, so you can go pretty expensive with them. This is like a $5 one from Fender, chrome steel slide. Let me show you what guitar slide does. Go pick here, and we'll go off standby. Okay. We'll just do 25 watts. Here you go. This is what a guitar slide does. I'm not a great slide player, but that is what the channel's named for because I really like slide guitar and slide blues, even though I'm mostly a metal player, but I do love slide blues and Delta blues and all that stuff. Anyway, so moving in to other things now. You can get excellent amplifiers for really low prices these days. This is a Boss Katana. It runs around $250, $300-ish, depending on what you're looking for. That's a Yugera 5-watt tube amp. Now, I don't typically recommend tube amps to beginners just because they are a little bit maintenance intensive and expensive over time, but they do sound really great. And in fact, I prefer tube amps over everything most of the time, but it's not required to have good tone either. Boss Katana sounds really good. It's very affordable. Has a ton of effects built in. So if you want someone if you want something that doesn't need a lot of extra pedals and extra stuff, this is a great amplifier. And you know, there's tons of different sizes of these. You can go bigger, you can go smaller in the Boss Katana range. They're great amplifiers. I use a Marshall Code 50 as well. Modeling amps are really awesome these days. You can get a lot of flexibility and tone, especially if you're wanting to replace that little amplifier that came in. Say you got an electric guitar starter kit for a family member or a friend or whomever you're shopping for. You know, you might want to replace that little 10-watt amp. It may not sound that great. Go to something like, you know, you can get 25-watt orange amps and things like that, Fender LT25 amplifiers. Those are all great. Something like the Blackstar Code 50 is giggable. It's loud enough, you can definitely do that. You can also run acoustic guitars, so I really like this. The Code 50 is another one that's loud and very flexible. And there's other brands, you know, Line 6 and everyone else. Modeling amps are so good these days compared to what they started off with. Vox is Valvetronics, which is like a blend of tube and solid state. There's just so many different things out there. Definitely look at different amplifiers because you can get them really affordably, and you don't have to spend a lot of money these days to get a good amp, just like guitars. You can go as low as the Fender's used to be. If you were familiar with last year, I mentioned the Squier Bullets. Well, this Bullet has been swapped out for the Sonic series, which is basically the same vibe. Low budget Fender style guitars by Fender Subsidiary Squier. Those are great. Ibanez Gio. You can get great guitars. Even my Leo James Single Cut Standard, which I don't know, it's not anyway. Great guitar, under $500. Actually, I got the Leo James Single Cut Standard off of Amazon for $190 or something like that. Great guitar. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get great guitars. You just want to give someone their nice guitar these days. You know, Ibanez Gios, Squiers, Epiphone. There's so many great guitars out there. Not even just the Amazon brands. You can get name brands these days at low prices. The Squier Sonic series I played. I love them. I played the Fender LT25 amplifier. That right there would be a great combination of starter pack to build for somebody. Bassists. I reviewed the Jackson JS1 concert bass. Love that thing. That is a great bass guitar. There's also a ton of great budget basses from Ibanez, and Jackson has their bass line, which aren't too expensive. I do like Epiphone has a few, but Squier basses have always stood out to me, and Ibanez Gios because they are usually very affordable and very nice bass guitars. I have a Gio right there. I paid less than $300 or maybe right around $300 for that used, but you can get them, you know, you can get other Ibanez basses for under $300. Great guitars. So if you're looking to get something like that, if you need an amplifier, so back there you can see an Ampeg. That's an old model BA 108, but you can actually get newer models of like the Ampeg Rocket. Fender also has the Mustang and the Rumble series for bass. Katana has bass amps. Ashdown, there's a ton of great. Orange and Vox also have great bass amps. Blackstar does. There's so many different amplifiers that are very affordable these days. You can grab any of those and you will make somebody happy. They're feature rich. They're way more feature rich. That thing is so basic. I use pedals with it, but new amplifiers, that thing's really old. That still has a CD auxiliary set up in it. New amplifiers are so much more flexible than what they used to be. You can make someone really happy if you give them a kit, or they've been mentioning, man, I want to practice with something a little bit bigger, a little bit more louder. Look at those different brands I mentioned, because those are all really great. Yeah, and again, as far as tube amps, I do really like the Guitarists line. I don't really know that there's a whole lot cheaper than that. There's probably some Amazon brands that are pretty close in price. I don't know much about those. I can only speak to what I have and know, or have at least played. But Guitarists is a good affordable tube amp brand. If you have someone who is, you know, a fairly knowledgeable guitarist and really wants a tube amp sound, that's a good one to go with. And keep an eye on those Black Friday sales, because, you know, maybe you might be able to nab some good deals. Blackstar just released the Mark III line of their amp range, so the Mark II has dropped in price, so you might be able to nab some of those pretty low priced. Now it may not be under 500, which is where we're trying to stick with today, but these are all just some ideas for you. And this is all just stuff to consider for those of you who are really looking into buying something for a guitar player, because we are picky. We have gear that we really like. But yeah, cables, picks, capos, harmonicas, amplifiers, gig bags, stands, and new guitars, all under 500 bucks these days. You can get great ones. I hope I gave you some good brands in this. I hope people get something out of that and get some ideas of where to look, because the online things, they can get you some places, but then they start throwing their own brand stuff in there, and then the prices tend to get really ridiculous. I am an amp guy. I don't do a whole lot of computer stuff, no plugins. You won't find that on this channel. That's just not who I am, at least not for, I maybe eventually I'll get into it, but this is what I like. I want to sit down in front of you with an amplifier. Speaking of amplifiers, I did want to mention acoustic guitars. You can get great acoustic guitars for 200 plus these days. I did review the Fender FA135CE recently. That was another really good one. I don't want to forget my acoustic players, because I do play a lot of acoustic guitar. Also, I use the Fender Acoustasonic 40. There's also, I think it's the Acoustasonic 15, and other brands that make acoustic amplifiers that are really good out there as well. So if you have an acoustic electric guitar player, an acoustic electric amplifier would be a nice thing to have, because they are specific to the acoustic electric guitar. Sometimes you can find amps like the or like this Boss, that can run them, but often it's nice to have a dedicated amp for those. You get better sound, I feel like. So anyway, and acoustic electric guitars you can get them for under 200 bucks. I have, again, the Fender FA135CE was that way, and you can get just this basic acoustic guitar from several brands these days for 150 plus. I don't typically recommend going lower than 150 to 200 bucks on acoustic guitars, simply because I have like an $80 Rogue that literally the neck fell off of. You gotta be really careful with some of the acoustics, and so even some of the electrics. Some of the lower priced ones aren't always the most reliable, so I will give you that heads up. And some of if you don't recognize the name brand on Amazon, it may be okay, it may not be okay. Really read those reviews on products, because that will help you. People are more prone to leaving bad reviews than good reviews, so do bear that in mind as well. But it is important when you don't recognize the brand to be able to look up product reviews. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching SlydeBytes. I hope this was helpful for some parents, family members, loved ones out there hoping to find something for a guitarist in their life. We are hard to buy for. We are very picky. We're very gear specific. We have brands that we love and don't love. Do your research with the person. Ask those simple questions, but not too prying. Don't give yourself away on what you're doing, but definitely bear these name brands in mind, but don't be too afraid to look on Amazon at some of those lower price ones. Again, I really like my Lego James, but definitely read those reviews. If you don't recognize a brand, read those reviews, because that will guide you. Thank you so much, guys, for watching SlydeBytes. This is a little bit different from my usual guitar playing stuff, but this is something that's important to me. I want to make sure starters good. Like, you can get great starter packs these days, but it's also so often these days you can build your own packs very affordably. Don't be afraid. My first guitar was a Christmas guitar pack. If that is what your budget will allow for, and it solves the needs of a young guitar player or a new guitar player doesn't have a young one, if it solves the need and that's what you can do, go for the guitar pack. It's better to have that than nothing at all. So I started off on a Squire guitar pack. I still have that guitar. I still love that guitar. The amp is gone. It did crap out on me, but the guitar has been good. So I will say that you can hold on to those things for a long time and get used to them. And I still have music I record on that Squire from a starter pack I got it when I was a good night. I'm old. I think it was 2009. Anyway, so thank you guys so much for watching. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I really do appreciate you. If you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe if you feel like I've earned it. That goes a long way to helping this channel grow. Please check me out on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, SoundCloud. still on there, but I'm not really doing a whole lot with it right now. I'm still looking for other platforms. And here on the YouTube community page for updates, polls, fun things like that. If you have any questions about products or anything, feel free to comment it. I do my best with legit questions to answer everything people post. If you have questions, things you want to ask me about, please comment in this comment section, because that means a ton to me to be able to answer those questions like that. That makes me so happy. It makes my day to be able to answer somebody's question in earnest. Guys, again, thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. Keep shredding, partners. More content always in the works. We got another pedal review coming up soon, and some other tone testing, and plenty more in my mind. That's rolling around in there all the time. Talk to you guys later.